the cutest theme restaurants, what to do if there's a typhoon during your trip, where you can visit Animal Crossing in real life, and an exhibition about animals and monsters in traditional woodblock prints. I'm Amy from Cakes with Faces, and this is Japan Travel News about all the new things that are opening in Japan and what's coming up over the next few months. A while back on Japan News, Tokyo Joypolis announced they'd be opening a new park for their 30th anniversary. At the time, we weren't quite sure exactly what that would entail, but it actually is a new indoor theme park. It's called Joypolis Sports X. It's also in Odaiba in Tokyo, inside Dex Tokyo Beach Shopping Mall, the same location as Tokyo Joypolis. It'll have physical games with XR technology, which connects the physical and the digital worlds. That's scheduled to open in July. A new immersive digital art experience is coming to Tokyo. It's called Reve de Lumieres. It feels like there's one of these Team Lab style attractions opening in Japan pretty much every month, and I do wonder if all of them are any good. This one's from a company that started in Paris with an attraction called Atelier des Lumières. Since then, they've expanded to other countries in Europe, the USA, South Korea, and now Japan. It's in Ariake, next to Odaiba, at Tokyo Dream Park, which is a large complex that opened earlier this year with a theatre, restaurants, and events venues. Reve de Lumière, which means Dream of Light, has 7 zones and a large main gallery space. It opens on the 12th of June. To start with, it'll feature the work of Van Gogh and Gaudi. It seems like these are shows of a set length rather than being like Team Lab, which are auto-generated and ongoing. These are ones you can watch from start to end. Next is some sad news. The giant Gundam in Odaiba in Tokyo is retiring at the end of August. It's been there for almost 10 years. Until then, it's celebrating its retirement with some new decorations in red. At this point, we don't know if it'll be replaced or if it'll be moved somewhere else. They have announced something called the Gundam Landmark Project, which will be a new facility or attraction. But at this point, that's all the details we have. As soon as we know more, it'll be right here in Japan News. Until then, there'll be just one giant Gundam left in Japan in Fukuoka at Mitsui Shopping Park Lalaport. It's also really annoying because the giant Gundams are card in my Japan trip planning deck. Just like my book, I did make it so it wouldn't go out of date too quickly, but I have started a web page with any updates for you. So far, that's the only one. With my Japan guidebook, I update it every time I get it reprinted, which is usually about twice a year. So whenever you order, you know you'll always be getting the most up-to-date version. The updates are usually really small, but there is a web page with all the changes. The link's in the book. There's a new taiko drumming show in Kyoto called Drum Tao Theatre Kyoto. Drum Tao is a group that's toured the world and performed in over 500 cities, so I guess they know what they're doing, and I've heard it's really good. It's in a specially designed theatre that's right by Kyoto Station, so it's easy to get to. It's got a roof terrace for drinks before the show. There are 2 performances a day at 7 and 9 p.m. Kyoto does tend to go to bed quite early, so it's good to have another thing to do in the evening. You might remember before on Japan News there was an Ukiyo-e immersive art exhibition that's been touring around Japan, and now it's going to become a permanent attraction in Tokyo. It has artwork from traditional woodblock prints that's been animated, and it's projected in giant size on the walls all around you, with music and even scent. It'll be in Ginza, the designer shopping district of Tokyo. It opens in spring 2027. It's called Moving Ukiyo-e Museum Ginza. Next, Japan Airlines Sky Museum has reopened after a renovation. I've always thought this looks like an interesting thing to do. It's at Haneda Airport. You can see the first passenger aircraft in Japan, old staff uniforms, and go on a tour of the hangar. The tour's now slightly longer than before, and they've added free lockers at the start for your luggage. Very useful. If you want to go, you need a reservation. You can book on their website. Next, UCC Coffee Museum in Kobe is reopening on the 1st of July. It's been closed since 2020. It's all about the history of coffee and how it's made, with tasters of course. But the best part is the workshops. I don't know how accessible they are if you don't speak Japanese, but you can learn how to make and roast coffee and how to make 3D latte art, like those fancy lattes with cute characters made of foam. I'd love to know how easy or hard they are to make. I can only imagine how your first one might turn out. And again, if you want to go to the museum, you need a reservation. Next is food and restaurants. Pepper Parlor, the robot cafe in Shibuya, has closed, but if you want to go to a robot restaurant, you can still go to Dawn Avatar Robot Cafe, which is between Tokyo Station and Akihabara. At that one, the robot waiters are remotely controlled by people who are housebound, which is a great idea. And you can also see lots of robots at Miraikan, the excellent science museum in Odaiba. There's a new special branch of Kura Sushi in Osaka. It's the legacy of the restaurant they had at the Osaka Expo that had dishes from around the world, with the slogan, "The conveyor belt unites the world." In the spirit of sustainability, they've used decorations from Osaka Expo in the new restaurant. There's these giant sushi plates on the ceiling. It's a large sushi bar with an 128-metre long conveyor belt and dishes from 70 countries around the world, as well as the regular sushi menu, which seems like a lot for the chefs to prepare. For the UK, there's a mini Sunday roast. Australia has roast beef. There's a hamburger for the USA and maple syrup pancakes from Canada, and lots of more interesting dishes from other countries. I had always thought the conveyor belt model could be used for more types of food. It would be perfect for tapas. If you want to go, it's the Namba Senichi-mai branch in central Osaka, not far from Dotonbori. And I have a video about how to book a table at Kura Sushi to save you time waiting in line. Next, you can have the cutest dim sum at this Sumigogarashi pop-up restaurant in Fukuoka. Look how cute they are with the little faces. I just can't get over it. It's on throughout July and August. That's just one of the many pop-up theme cafes on in Japan at the moment. There's a list on cakeswithfaces.co.uk in the blog section, and in my Japan guidebook on page 247 there's a list of permanent theme cafes. Next, the Pokémon Café in Tokyo reopens on the 17th of June. It's been closed since March for a renovation. There's a new menu with some really detailed dishes and a new signature dessert that's also the theme of a new show called Let's Make a Pika Pika Parfait. It's always been difficult to get a reservation at the Pokémon Café because it's so popular, so make sure you're ready to reserve the moment you can. There used to be a chance of getting a same-day booking if you turned up when it opened. At the moment they're saying it's reservation only, so I'm not sure if that'll still be the case. The Square Enix cafe and shop that was announced last time on Japan News is opening on the 12th of June in Shinjuku in Tokyo. The cafe on floors 2 and 3 has dishes from Dragon Quest, Final Fantasy, Full Metal Alchemist and Nier Automata, like this bullet hell pasta, and there's official merch in the shop downstairs. Next is train news. There are 2 new sightseeing trains in Hokkaido next year called the Red Star and the Blue Star. They were due to launch in spring this year, but there were some delays, so now the Red Star launches in February 2027, just in time to see the drift ice in the sea. It's a round trip between Sapporo and Abashiri. Then from April to July, the route changes to Kushiro to Shiretokoshari. That train will have a tatami mat room. The Blue Star starts in summer 2027, running from June to September during lavender season. It runs from Asahikawa through Biei to Furano. Then in winter, it'll run between Abashiri and Shiretokoshari from January to March. If you want to go on them, keep an eye out for updates and book as soon as you can. Like all special trains in Japan, they're going to be really popular, so unfortunately it's not one of those things you can just decide to do spur of the moment. Next, at certain times of the year, Nozomi Shinkansen are reserved cars only. Usually there are a couple of unreserved cars that you can just jump on without a seat reservation, but during busy times it's reserved cars only, so you need a seat reservation when you book your ticket. Seat reservations cost slightly more, but not that much. In my opinion, if you know when you'll be travelling, it's worth it to make sure you can sit together, and especially if you want those seats with extra space for luggage. Anyway, usually Nozomi Shinkansen are reservation only during Golden Week at the end of April, start of May, during Obon, which is a summer holiday in August, and over New Year. But this year there are a few extra dates. Here they are. They cover several 3-day weekends. Silver Week in September isn't usually a big deal, but this year the holidays fall in such a way that people have a longer time off work. That's the 19th to the 23rd of September. Like anywhere when there's a holiday, places will be busier, and that includes the trains. If you can, I'd avoid places like Tokyo Disney and Shibuya Sky. Book your attraction tickets in advance and your Shinkansen tickets. Also, it's only the Nozomi Shinkansen that's reservation only on those dates. The other services like the Kodama and Hikari, which stop at more stations, will still have unreserved cars like normal. There'll be a special Disney Shinkansen for the 25th anniversary of Tokyo Disney Sea called the Sparkling Dreams Shinkansen. It runs between Tokyo and Shin-Osaka from the 19th of June until March 2027. The timetable for the Shinkansens on the JR Central website, that's matching the Sparkling Jubilee plane from Japan Airlines. Next is something I don't think any foreign tourists will be able to participate in, but I thought you'd be interested anyway. It's a special Shinkansen from JR Central that you can ride with your dog. It's called the Wan Wan Express. Wan Wan is what dogs say in Japanese, like woof woof. You can take fun photos, there's a little train driver's hat for dogs, and dog training sessions on board. I'm just waiting for the Shinkansen for hamsters. It runs between Tokyo and Osaka at the same time as a big pet event, so everyone's dogs can go along too. These are the train times if you want to try and see it and see all the dogs at the station. Next is events. There's an evening light-up event at Tofuku-ji Temple in Kyoto until the 5th of July. It's called Zen Night Tofuku-ji. There'll be soothing music and lights for a calming Zen atmosphere. You can listen to the rustling of the maple leaves all lit up at night. There'll be a sea of clouds in the Zen garden, and you can see the dragon painting in the main hall, which is usually closed during the daytime. Advance tickets are 2,800 yen. Next, if you've ever wanted to be in Animal Crossing in real life, you can this summer in Japan. It's an event at Tokyu Resort Town Tateshina in Nagano Prefecture, which is a resort in the countryside. It is a little remote. You take a 2-hour train from Shinjuku to Chino Station, then there's a free shuttle bus to the resort. You can stay there overnight or visit as a day guest. I like how they've made the map look just like in the game. The event's on until the 20th of July. There's a stamp rally and Animal Crossing style activities like planting a tree. You can have a coffee at the Roost, go to a KK Slider concert, and make soap shaped like an Animal Crossing leaf. Next, a Yokai Expo has been announced for next year on the 21st of February in Shodoshima on Shikoku. Yokai are Japanese monsters from Legends. It's the 3rd time they've held this expo. It's a fairly small event with booths, a yokai cosplay fashion show, stage performances, Japanese drumming, and an art contest. It looks really fun. Next, I've got some stamp rallies for you. There's a Pokémon stamp rally from JR East at JR stations in Tokyo and Shinkansen stations in Tohoku. The stamp book's available from New Day's convenience stores from the 16th of July. There's also a Pokémon stamp rally in Nagoya along the Meitetsu railway line from the 18th of July to the 23rd of September. Next, there's a Sanrio Fest in Yokohama featuring Hello Kitty and her friends. It's to announce the results of the Sanrio character ranking to see which characters are the most popular this year. The lottery for admission tickets has ended, but if you're going to Yokohama, which is really close to Tokyo, look out for special Sanrio decorations. There's a giant 5-meter tall pom-pom-purin in Mark Is shopping mall. There's photo spots, pop-up shops, and look out for decorations in Minato Mirai Station, Mark Is and Landmark Plaza from the 12th to the 28th of June. Next is bus news. There'll be a trial of a self-driving bus in Tokyo from the 23rd of June to the 2nd of July. It'll be doing quite a short route in the area between Tokyo Station and the Imperial Palace. It's free to ride, but you might be asked to complete a survey. There are 5 levels when it comes to autonomous vehicles. Level 5 is completely driving on its own, and this bus is only level 2, so there will still be a driver on board. But this is a busy area of Tokyo, so it's quite a test for the bus. There are several self-driving buses in Japan, including one in Kesenuma just above Sendai. That one's level 4, so it's almost at the completely self-driving stage. It runs along an old railway line that was destroyed by the tsunami in 2011. It was quicker and cheaper to rebuild it as a road than a train line, and they managed to get the bus up and running just 1 year later in 2012. That self-driving bus has magnetic markers and RFID in the road to guide it, instead of using cameras and AI. What's interesting about this is in Japan there are quite a few local railway lines in the countryside that operate at a loss. They don't have many passengers, but they keep isolated communities connected. So it's possible that in the future, some of them could be replaced by self-driving buses that are cheaper to run. Next is boat news. This summer at weekends, you can go on a Tokyo Bay night cruise from Yokohama to Tokyo, taking in the glittering lights and the Rainbow Bridge. It's been extended, so now it's running until the 28th of June. It's only 1,200 yen for the 90-minute trip. It seems like a nice way to end a day trip to Yokohama after seeing Chinatown, the Cup Noodles Museum and the Ramen Museum. Next is plane news. The design's been revealed for the new Pokémon Planes from ANA. Pokémon Jet Red with Fire Pokémon will be in operation from late July on domestic routes within Japan. And Pokémon Jet Green with Grass-type Pokémon will be on international routes. There's no launch date announced for that yet. There'll also be Pokémon Jet Blue on domestic routes. It seems like that one will have characters from Pokémon Winds and Waves, and they're all themed inside as well as outside. There'll also be a Pokémon Airport in Ishikawa Prefecture near Kanazawa. It's Noto Airport on the Noto Peninsula where the earthquake was in 2024. It opens on the 7th of July until September 2029. It'll be decorated with all 111 flying type Pokémon. There'll be themed dishes in the restaurant and special merch. There'll also be themed buses connecting the airport with Kanazawa and Wajima City, and the Pokémon footbath that opened recently. It's great that Pokémon's teamed up with them to revitalise the area and encourage people to visit. Next, I've got a couple of pop-up themed hotel rooms. I'll do these quick fire with the dates on the screen. There's a Pingu hotel room in Yokohama, as well as a Pingu afternoon tea in the restaurant. There are Hello Kitty hotel rooms in Beppu in Kyushu. One of them's Western style, and there's 2 tatami rooms. And there are Kumamon hotel rooms with Kumamon's to-do list written on the blackboard at these hotels in Tokyo, Osaka and Sendai. Next is shop news. Hands, formerly known as Tokyu Hands in Shibuya, is closing. It's a huge shop that sells all sorts of things. This one had a really confusing floor plan. Each of the 7 floors has different levels called A, B and C. It's been there for almost 50 years and it's closing now because the lease is expiring. But there is still a huge and much less confusing branch of Hands really close by in Shinjuku. Next is seasonal things. This week there was a typhoon in Japan. Thoughts go to everyone who was there, and it's a good moment to remind ourselves what to do if there's a typhoon. Typhoon season's from May to October, and the peak time is from July to September. There are lots of typhoons every year in Japan, but only a few make it onto land. They're more common in Okinawa and the south, and otherwise, if they're just in the sea, it might be rainy for a day or two. If there's a typhoon forecast, check the news for updates and what to do. It might just be rainy and windy, or it might not be safe to go out and you'll need to stay indoors for the day. Your hotel staff will be able to help with advice about what to do. If it's a bad one, make sure you keep your phone charged and stock up on food and water for your hotel room. And if it's really bad, there might be disruption to trains and flights. If your Shinkansen's cancelled, you can usually get a refund or reschedule. I'd go along to the ticket office and they'll help you, or if you booked on Smart EX, you can reschedule it yourself. If you're going to miss your check-in day at your next hotel, contact them to let them know that you are coming for the rest of your stay. For flights, check your travel insurance and the policies from your airline. For example, this week, Japan Airlines were letting people have refunds or reschedule, but it depends on the policies from your airline. Just like earthquakes, there is a chance there could be a typhoon during your trip, so know what you need to do to stay safe. If you're going to Japan this month, remember that rainy season starts mid-June. Usually it lasts for a month, but sometimes it's much shorter and sometimes it's skipped entirely. Last year it only lasted a few days, so fingers crossed for you. It doesn't necessarily rain all day or every day, but have some waterproof shoes. I've found that places can be less busy in June because rainy season puts people off. And you can enjoy the seasonal flowers, hydrangea. Look up hydrangea festivals wherever you're going to be. There's one at Hakusan Shrine in Tokyo and several in Kamakura. And finally, exhibitions. Ota Memorial Museum of Art in Harajuku has rotating exhibitions of traditional woodblock prints, and they've got another fun one. It's called Animals and Monsters, cute, scary, and a little weird. Last time they had an exhibition about middle-aged men looking grumpy and doing silly things in the background. This gallery really knows the fun side of Ukiyo-e. Sumiko Garashi are the official support characters for the Great Antarctic exhibition in Tokyo at Miraikan, the Science Museum. It's just the mood you want for the hot Japanese summer. The touring Pokémon crafts exhibition's moving to Hiroshima this summer. There's an exhibition called The Recommendation of Cats at the Museum of Food and Agriculture in Setagaya, Tokyo, about wild cats, cats in agriculture, cats in unexpected places and in paintings, and it's free. There's a Gachapon exhibition in Ikebukuro for the 10th anniversary of Qualia, a company that makes Gachapon. When I used to make my Gachapon roundup videos, Qualia always had really good ones, so I think it's going to be a fun exhibition, or maybe just frustrating that you can't buy them all, although you're not too far away from the world's largest Gachapon store in Sunshine City. There's also a Gachapon exhibition in Kobe for the 60th anniversary of Gachapon, and the Tamagotchi exhibition that was in Tokyo is moving to Hokkaido this month. So that's it for Japan news. We've had a coffee museum, a self-driving bus, and a shinkansen for dogs. I'll see you next week with new videos every Thursday to help you plan your Japan trip. Bye bye.